Absolutely. And Talia, we want to look deeper into why are fake headlines, spread about communities, especially when they are clearly, these headlines are clearly misinforming people. What is the purpose and how are they spread? And we want to look at this together. But as you know, we don't like spoon feeding, so we want you to tell us why. We're going to start with a quick activity where first we want you to answer why. Why are these misinforming headlines spreading? What is the purpose? We're going to give you a few moments to think about it and jot them down. So do pause this video and answer this question. When you're ready, unpause and we will explore it together. And
welcome back, everyone. I hope you wrote down those answers. So we're looking at why are these fake headlines spread? What is the motivation around them? So I'm sure you've got lots of ideas written down. Zaynab and I have kind of picked the top ones that often come up when we speak to young people. So firstly, clickbait. Clickbait, what an interesting phenomenon that has kind of come up in recent years. So you might think about clickbait when you think of YouTube kind of cover pictures and titles, when you think of BuzzFeed articles. These are stories that are deliberately posted to attract attention and draw visitors to that website. They are drawing you in to then click on their story, to click on their video. Zainab, have you ever been in that situation where you see a YouTube video and it says something in the title and then you click, then you watch it and you're like watching for 20 minutes and that thing just doesn't come up at all?
absolutely, and you're like skipping, trying to find where this event occurs, and it just doesn't. It's deliberately trying to get people to kind of visit this video or this web page to ensure that they get more traffic.
Yeah.
Also on Snapchat all the time with the stories that you subscribe to at the bottom, where it has like a headline of something happening, and you would go through that platform completely and the headline just doesn't exist. So that happens quite a lot on socials. We also have financial gain or popularity. I guess specifically when everyone's reporting on the same topic, how do you ensure that your headline is the most popular? So maybe add something a bit controversial or spicy in there, and then you've got financial gain as well. Obviously we know that by clicking on these websites, by buying these newspapers, we are contributing to their financial status.
Definitely. Another reason, and that we have kind of why these fake news is spread, just simply sloppy journalism. So I think it's really important that a lot of the time there is intent behind it, but a lot of the time it's just simply unreliable information, unchecked facts. If we look at instances like terrorist attacks, when something happens, when there's panic and something's happened really suddenly, often lots of fake ideas are kind of really spread around really quickly, especially on social media. A few years ago, we know that there was a kind of a commotion and a loud noise on Oxford Street. Ollie Murs, at the time, the singer, was shopping in Selfridges, heard this and tweeted that there was a terrorist attack happening, which there wasn't. He has millions of followers, people saw this, kind of newspapers saw this, used this as a piece of information, wrote headlines, it was then posted, and suddenly you've got kind of all this kind of fake ideas being spread. So really important to remember that kind of sloppy journalism as well can mean that unreliable information is spread as well.
Absolutely. And our last point is propaganda. So deliberately misleading audience to promote a biased view or political agenda. So as an example of the Muslim woman that we showed you on Westminster Bridge. So kind of spreading false mass generalizations about groups of people. And we know that that's definitely perpetuated by the media sometimes. Now we want to think about some of the reasons how kind of these fake ideas are spread. So whether it's social media or print media, how are they circulating? So one of the first one we've got here is misleading headings. I think, Talia, we already spoke about that.
So kind of sensationalism, so using certain languages to draw people in, to kind of make it seem like over-exaggerated or under-exaggerated something, and kind of those internal biases from journalists when they're writing.
Also, Talia, I feel like it's becoming more and more difficult to spot fake news. Specifically, if I think, relating it to the COVID-19 pandemic, lots of articles there at a time where people are looking for information. So it becomes really easy to believe these ideas.
Yeah.
Another point we've got is biased news or echo chambers. Talia, what are echo chambers?
So an echo chamber is something really interesting. And if you think about an echo, that kind of, it's the same thing going round and around. If you're in an echoey place and you say hello, it will kind of bounce back to you. So an echo chamber is a space where you are only seeing the same news. So we are all the creators of our social media feeds. We have choice. We choose to follow certain celebrities, certain influencers, certain politicians. And you're most likely following people who you like or you agree with their opinion. And what happens is the more you follow people who have a similar opinion, and you therefore kind of don't necessarily have a diverse feed of opinions, you are seeing the same news over and over again, regurgitating it. So, for example, I myself know that I'm in an echo chamber because I follow people of similar values. And whenever maybe a political election is happening, I often feel like everyone in the world is voting for the same person because I feel like that's what they are saying on my social media, which obviously isn't the case. And what's really important to remember is sometimes when we see these really negative ideas, whether it's Islamophobia, whether it's anti-Semitism, whether it's racism in general, people who pick up those ideas will be seeing it not from just one person. And the algorithms on social media can lead people down these holes into seeing these ideas bounce back. And it's kind of a slippery slope if you start kind of looking at one person who has this ideas and another person is going to be suggested in another headline. And that's how these ideas can spread more like wildfire. Now with social media, it's not just an isolated incident. It's not just you see one headline, it's that you see 20 headlines. It's not that you hear one voice, you're hearing 50 voices. And that's really important. And also what I think is really important to note is that with social media, everyone kind of becomes the spreader of news. No matter if you are a professional journalist as your job, I could see something happening on a street, pick up my phone and tweet it. Therefore, I have become the giver of that news without fact checking it myself. So I think all these reasons, it's kind of why and how fake news is spreads.
I also think it's really interesting, Talia, because even though anyone could upload anything on social media and it could spread like wildfire, as you said, for many people, social media is their primary source of information. So, for example, when I see something trending and a lot of people are talking about it, I straight away assume that it's taking place, even though sometimes it's maybe pranks or kind of, a false way of reporting something kind of gets circulated as a fact. So I think that's really interesting.
I also think it's worth noting that social media isn't a bad place to get your news from at all. It's just about being conscious and wary. Is this piece of information reliable? Which I think is probably what we're going to be talking about in our next episodes.
Absolutely. So next time when we're back, we want to talk about some of the methods or tools that you can pick up to ensure that you are being skeptical and just accessing reliable sources of information, and how you could ensure that, as well as looking kind of towards kind of positive elements of the media, because obviously we don't want to bash the media. It's such an amazing platform where lots of kind of positive things happen. So stay tuned and we will see you very soon next week for our last episode. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.